as the last human fleet hovered on the brink of annihilation. Captain Jack Mercer stood on the bridge of the HSS Resolute, his steely eyes scanning the battle unfolding around him. The Kraelion, gigantic predators with razor-sharp claws and impenetrable scales, were pressing the attack, their ships swarming like locusts. The human fleet, though technologically advanced, struggled to hold its ground. "Captain, the Kraelion are breaching our left flank!" shouted Commander Simon Gray, Jack's closest friend and tactical officer. The bridge shook violently as another barrage from the Kraelion ships hit. "Hold the line!" Jack roared. "Divert power to the forward shields and prepare for countermeasures." Despite their best efforts, the Kraelion's brute strength was overwhelming. Jack knew they couldn't win this fight through sheer force. They needed a different approach. As the battle raged on, Simon's eyes widened as he noticed something on his console. "Jack, I think I've found something," Simon said. "The Kraelion ships are coordinating their attacks through a central node. If we can disrupt it, we might throw them off balance." Jack's mind raced. A central node? That could be their hive mind. "Are you sure, Simon?" "Positive. It's risky, but if we can target that node, we might have a chance." "Do it," Jack ordered. "Prepare to fire on the node. All ships, concentrate your fire on the coordinates Commander Gray is sending." The fleet adjusted its formation, focusing their fire on the suspected node. The Kraelion ships seemed to hesitate for a moment, their coordination faltering. But then, a new wave of Kraelion ships emerged, led by the Queen herself, a massive and terrifying creature that dwarfed the human ships. "Captain, the Queen is here," Simon said. "We're outmatched." Jack's jaw tightened. "All ships fall back. We need to regroup and come up with a new plan." The human fleet began a hasty retreat, the Kraelion hot on their heels. Jack's heart pounded in his chest. They had found a weakness, but exploiting it would be another matter entirely. As they pulled back to a safer distance, Jack gathered his senior officers for a briefing. "We've discovered that the Kraelion coordinate their attacks through a hive mind," Jack began. "If we can disrupt their communication, we might stand a chance." "Commander Gray, what do we know about this hive mind?" Simon stepped forward, his face grim but determined. "The hive mind is controlled by the Queen. If we can take her out, we can disrupt their entire network." "And how do we do that?" asked Commander Reynolds, the head of their ground forces. "We'll need a strike team to infiltrate the Kraelion stronghold and eliminate the Queen," Simon replied. "It's a suicide mission, but it's our only hope," Jack agreed. "We'll do whatever it takes. Prepare the team. We leave at dawn." As the officers dispersed, Jack turned to Simon. "You've always had a knack for finding the silver lining, Simon. Let's hope you're right about this." Simon smiled weakly. "I hope so too, Jack. For all our sakes." The night was restless, the crew haunted by the memories of the day's battle and the daunting task ahead. Jack wandered the corridors of the Resolute, his mind heavy with the responsibility of his command. He paused at a viewport, gazing out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Kraelion Queen awaited them. "We'll find you," Jack murmured to himself. "And we'll end this war." The dawn brought a renewed sense of purpose. The strike team assembled in the hangar bay, their faces a mix of determination and fear. Among them was Private Liam Connor, a young soldier fresh out of the academy, his eyes wide with anticipation and dread. "Listen up," Jack said, addressing the team. "This mission is critical. We're going into the heart of the beast. Stick together, watch each other's backs, and remember what we're fighting for. Humanity's survival depends on us." The team boarded their transport ship, and as the engines roared to life, Jack felt a surge of resolve. They had discovered the Kraelion's weakness. Now they just had to exploit it. The ship launched into the void, heading straight for the Kraelion's stronghold. The battle for the galaxy's future was now in their hands. The transport ship glided through the darkness, carrying Jack Mercer and his team toward the heart of the Kraelion's stronghold. Jack glanced around at his squad, their faces set with determination. Private Liam Connor sat closest to him, his hands gripping his rifle tightly. The young soldier's eagerness was palpable, but Jack could see the fear lurking beneath. "Stay sharp, everyone," Jack said, his voice steady. "We have one shot at this. Remember the plan: get in, take out the Queen, and get out." As they approached the Kraelion base, the ship's sensors picked up a swarm of enemy fighters. The pilot, Commander Maya Santos, maneuvered expertly through the onslaught, her hands dancing over the controls. "We're almost there," she called back. "Brace yourselves for landing." The ship touched down with a jolt, the ramp lowering to reveal the harsh, alien landscape. The air was thick with tension as the team disembarked, their weapons at the ready. The Kraelion stronghold loomed ahead, a massive, foreboding structure carved from black stone. "Move out," Jack ordered, leading the way. The team advanced cautiously, their senses on high alert. They encountered little resistance at first, the Kraelions seemingly unaware of their presence. But as they drew closer to the core, the air grew colder, and the shadows deepened. "Commander, we're detecting movement ahead," Simon said, his eyes scanning the readout on his wrist console. Jack agreed, signaling the team to take cover. They moved silently, their training kicking in as they navigated the treacherous terrain. Ahead they could see the entrance to the Queen's chamber, guarded by a squad of Kraelion warriors. "Connor, take point," Jack instructed. "Gray, cover our flank." "Santos, you're with me." Liam swallowed hard but obeyed, moving forward with the confidence of someone determined to prove themselves. The team took their positions, ready to strike. At Jack's signal, they launched their assault, catching the Kraelion off guard. Blasts of energy lit up the chamber as the team pushed forward, cutting down the alien guards with precision. "Keep moving!" Jack shouted, his voice rising above the din. They pressed on, entering the Queen's chamber. The sight that greeted them was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The Kraelion Queen stood at the center, her massive form pulsating with an eerie light. She turned to face them, her eyes burning with a malevolent intelligence. "So, the humans dared to challenge me," she hissed, her voice echoing through the chamber. "We're here to end this," Jack replied, raising his weapon. "Your reign is over." The Queen let out a roar, summoning her remaining guards. The team fought fiercely, their movements coordinated and efficient. Jack could see Liam holding his own, his fear replaced by determination. "Gray, set the charges," Jack ordered, covering his friend as Simon planted explosive devices around the chamber. The Queen's guards were relentless, but the team held their ground, determined to complete their mission. With the charges in place, Jack signaled for a retreat. "Fall back! Now!" The team made a hasty exit, the Queen's roars of rage echoing behind them. They sprinted through the corridors, the countdown ticking away in Jack's mind. As they reached the transport ship, Jack glanced back, ensuring everyone was accounted for. "Go, go, go!" he shouted, urging Maya to take off. The ship lifted off just as the charges detonated, a massive explosion rocking the Kraelion stronghold. The team watched from the viewport as the structure collapsed, the Queen's screams silenced. As the ship sped away, Jack allowed himself a moment of relief. They had done it. The hive mind was disrupted, and humanity had a fighting chance. "Good work, everyone," Jack said, his voice filled with pride. "We've struck a critical blow against the Kraelion. But this is just the beginning of our fight." Liam looked up, his eyes shining with newfound confidence. "What's our next move, sir?" Jack smiled. "We regroup with the fleet, analyze our data, and prepare for the final push. We're not done yet." The team settled into their seats, exhaustion setting in. But amidst the weariness, there was a sense of accomplishment. They had faced the heart of the enemy and survived. The battle was far from over, but they had proven that humanity was not to be underestimated. As the ship rejoined the fleet, Jack felt a renewed sense of hope. They had taken a significant step toward victory. And though the path ahead was uncertain, one thing was clear: they would fight with everything they had to secure humanity's future. The next phase of the war awaited, and Jack was ready to lead his team through whatever challenges lay ahead. Jack Mercer stood at the helm of the command ship, watching the stars blur past as they navigated through the warp tunnel. The mission had been a success, but there was no time to rest. The Kraelion forces were regrouping, and intelligence reports indicated they were preparing a counterattack. The weight of responsibility bore down on him, but he pushed it aside, focusing on the task at hand. "We've got a briefing in 5," Jack announced over the comms. He turned to see Commander Maya Santos and Private Liam Connor approaching. Maya's usually bright demeanor was somber, and Liam's face was etched with concern. "Commander, we've intercepted a Kraelion transmission," Maya said, handing him a data pad. "They're planning to strike our supply lines. If they succeed, we'll be cut off from essential resources." Jack scanned the report, his mind racing. "We need to anticipate their move and set a trap. Liam, get the rest of the team to the briefing room. We need to come up with a plan." Minutes later, the team gathered around the holographic display in the briefing room. The tension was high, but Jack's presence instilled a sense of calm and focus. "The Kraelion are targeting our supply lines," Jack began, highlighting the critical points on the display. "If they succeed, our fleet will be severely crippled. We need to intercept them and turn the tables." Simon Gray, the tech specialist, leaned forward. "We could use decoy transports to lure them into a trap. Once they're engaged, we hit them with everything we've got." Jack agreed. "Exactly. We'll split into 2 teams. One will handle the decoys, drawing the Kraelion in, while the other lies in wait. Once they're in position, we strike hard and fast." Liam raised his hand. "Sir, what if they see through the ruse?" Jack met his gaze. "That's a risk we have to take. But if we execute this correctly, they won't know what hit them." As the team dispersed to prepare, Jack felt a surge of determination. This battle would be crucial in tipping the scales. He couldn't afford any mistakes. Hours later, the decoy transports were in position, drifting through space near the designated coordinates. Jack and his team waited in the shadows, their ships powered down to avoid detection. The silence was oppressive, each second stretching into eternity. "Steady, everyone," Jack's voice came over the comms, calm and reassuring. "They'll be here any minute." Suddenly, the sensors lit up. A fleet of Kraelion ships emerged from hyperspace, converging on the decoy transports. Jack's heart pounded in his chest as he watched the enemy fall into their trap. "Wait for it, wait for it," he murmured, his finger hovering over the activation switch. "Now!" The space around them erupted in a blaze of light as Jack's team powered up their ships and launched their attack. Energy blasts and missiles tore through the void, striking the Kraelion ships with deadly precision. The enemy, caught off guard, scrambled to retaliate. "Connor, take out those fighters on our flank," Jack ordered, his eyes darting across the battle display. "Gray, jam their communications. Santos, provide cover fire for the transports." The team moved with practiced efficiency, their actions synchronized and precise. Jack's ship weaved through the chaos, targeting the Kraelion command vessel. He unleashed a barrage of torpedoes, watching with satisfaction as the enemy ship erupted in a fireball. "We've got them on the run!" Maya's voice came over the comms, filled with triumph. But Jack knew better than to celebrate too soon. "Stay focused. We need to finish this." The Kraelion ships began to retreat, their formation broken and their morale shattered. Jack's team pursued them relentlessly, picking off stragglers and ensuring their escape routes were cut off. "Connor, Gray, fall back and regroup with the transports," Jack commanded. "Santos, you're with me. We're going after their flagship." The 2 ships accelerated, closing in on the massive Kraelion vessel. Jack's fingers flew over the controls, coordinating the attack with precision. They unleashed a final volley, striking the flagship's engines and sending it spiraling into the void. As the last of the Kraelion ships disappeared from the sensors, Jack let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Good work, everyone. Let's head back to the fleet." The return journey was quiet, the adrenaline of battle giving way to exhaustion. Jack glanced around at his team, pride swelling in his chest. They had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious. Back on the command ship, Jack gathered his team for a debrief. We've dealt a significant blow to the Kraelion today, but this war is far from over. We need to stay vigilant and prepare for their next move. Liam stepped forward, a determined look on his face. What's our next mission, sir? Jack smiled, seeing the fire in the young soldier's eyes. We'll be ready for whatever they throw at us. For now, get some rest. We've earned it. As the team dispersed, Jack remained, staring out at the stars. The Kraelion were relentless, but so were they. And with every battle, they grew stronger, more united. The war was far from over, but Jack knew they would fight with everything they had, no matter the cost. Jack Mercer stood at the helm of the command ship, the cold blue glow of the control panels illuminating his face. His team had regrouped after their latest victory, but the sense of accomplishment was short-lived. The Kraelion forces, though temporarily set back, were relentless and resourceful. The ship's comm system crackled to life. Commander Mercer, incoming transmission from Admiral Hayes, the communications officer reported. Patch it through, Jack replied, bracing himself for the latest developments. Admiral Hayes' stern visage appeared on the screen. Mercer, we have a new assignment for you. Our intelligence has uncovered a Kraelion facility hidden on the edge of the Cygnus sector. They're developing a new weapon, something that could turn the tide in their favor. Jack's eyes narrowed. What do you need from us, Admiral? We need you to infiltrate the facility, gather intel, and if possible, sabotage their operations. This mission is of utmost importance. Failure is not an option. Jack's resolve hardened. Understood, sir. We'll get it done. He gathered his team in the briefing room, the atmosphere charged with a mixture of anticipation and determination. Maya Santos, Simon Gray, and Liam Connor listened intently as Jack outlined the mission. Our objective is clear, Jack began. We need to locate this facility, gather as much information as we can, and disrupt their operations. This won't be easy, the Kraelion will be on high alert. But if we succeed, we could cripple their war effort. Simon leaned forward, his technical mind already working through the details. We'll need to disable their surveillance systems first. If we can get inside undetected, we have a better chance of pulling this off. Maya agreed in agreement. And we'll need to move quickly. Once they realize we're there, it'll turn into a fight we can't afford to lose. Jack's gaze swept across his team. We stick together and execute the plan with precision. No heroics, just focus and efficiency. The team suited up and boarded the stealth shuttle, their minds steeled for the task ahead. The journey to the Cygnus sector was tense but silent, each member lost in their own thoughts. As they approached the Kraelion facility, Jack's voice came over the comms, calm and authoritative. We're going dark. Simon, disable their surveillance. Maya, be ready to provide cover if things go south. Simon hacked into the facility's systems, his fingers dancing over the controls. Surveillance is down. We're clear to proceed. The team disembarked, moving swiftly and silently through the shadows. The facility loomed ahead, a monolithic structure bristling with defenses. Jack led the way, his senses sharp and alert. They reached the entrance, and Simon quickly bypassed the security lock. Inside, the facility was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, each one teeming with potential threats. Jack signaled for the team to split up, each taking a different route to cover more ground. Stay in constant contact. We regroup in 20 minutes. Maya moved with cat-like grace through the facility, her keen eyes scanning for any sign of trouble. She found a terminal and began downloading data, her pulse quickening as she uncovered the scope of the Kraelion's plans. Liam, meanwhile, planted explosive charges at strategic points, ready to create chaos when the time came. His movements were precise and methodical, a testament to his training. Jack infiltrated the central control room, his focus unwavering. He accessed the mainframe and began uploading a virus designed to cripple the facility's operations. The seconds ticked by, each one a potential moment of discovery. Suddenly, alarms blared, and the facility erupted into chaos. We've been detected. Simon's voice crackled over the comms. Initiating Plan B. Jack's heart raced as he completed the upload. Fall back to the extraction point. We need to get out of here, now. The team converged at the rendezvous point, their retreat covered by the explosions set by Liam. The facility shook with each blast, confusion and panic spreading among the Kraelion forces. As they boarded the shuttle and took off, Jack looked back at the burning facility, satisfaction mingled with urgency. Did we get everything we needed? Maya held up a data chip. More than enough. This should give us a significant advantage. Jack agreed, a rare smile crossing his face. Good work, everyone. Let's get back and debrief. The Admiral will want to know what we've accomplished. As the shuttle sped away from the beleaguered facility, Jack allowed himself a moment of hope. The battle was far from over, but they had struck a significant blow. And with each victory, they moved closer to turning the tide of the war. The team settled into their seats, exhaustion beginning to set in. Jack looked at each of them, his heart swelling with pride. They were more than a team, they were a family. And together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead.